Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by. If you've visited this way before, you might notice that there is something a little bit different about me in this video. I am of course wearing a wig, and that is because underneath here I am hiding a really bad haircut. So this video is going to be the story of why I need to wear a wig for the next few months. Alright, so I wanted a haircut, so I called up my regular hair salon, which I've been to for a few years now. Several of the staff that work at the salon have cut my hair before and I've been happy with the results, so obviously that's why I was happy to go back. Okay, so I call up the salon and I ask, do you have any availability today? Could I get my hair cut? And they say, yes, we have a spot open at 2. Alright, great. So I book in and 2 p.m. comes up and I go to my salon. And I am booked in with Leanne, shall we say. Leanne has cut my hair before, no problem, happy to get a haircut with her. So I said that I wanted a concave bob. Now, if you're not familiar with what the concave bob is, I will put a photo of it up on the screen. Basically, it's a twist on the classic bob. So in a concave bob, the front sections of your hair are an equal length, usually quite short, but an equal length. And then the haircut gradually gets shorter going up the side of your head until you get right to the very back of your head where the hair is shortest of all. It's I would say a pretty standard haircut. I don't think it's anything really, new and revolutionary. So I wouldn't expect a qualified hairdresser especially to struggle with a concave bob. But I'm wearing a wig now, so I guess you can guess what happened. Alright, so I sit down, I tell Leanne that I want a concave bob, and she asks, did you bring a photo? And I said, no, would you like me to look one up? And she said, no, it should be fine. Alright, so she starts cutting my hair, cutting, whatever, I don't say anything. Then she stops cutting, she puts down the scissors, and she goes to get the hairdryer. And so normally, a hairdresser will only get the hairdryer once they've finished cutting your hair and now they're just going to dry it and maybe style it. Alright, so she puts down her scissors, goes to get the hairdryer, and I turn my head from side to side. I'm looking at this haircut and the sides look quite even. So remember with a concave bob, you want the front to be the longest part and you want it to gradually get shorter. It's looking kind of even, but choppy. So imagine if someone was drunk and they tried to cut in a straight line. That's basically what it looked like on both sides. And I'm thinking it's kind of the same length and it's not even all nice and neat. And I'm thinking, this isn't, a concave bob, but I thought whatever, she's not done yet. I'm not going to say anything. All right, so she starts blow drying my hair. And then Leanne turns to one of the other hairdressers and asks what time it is. The other hairdresser tells her, and Leanne says, oh, I've got to go pick up my kids from school. So then she calls over another hairdresser who I will call Karen. Karen obviously is either on her first day at the job or is doing work experience because Leanne is explaining to her, this is how you cut the hair. If you need to cut it like this, you grab it like this and you cut it like this. If you need to thin it out, you use the thinning scissors to do this. So it's really obvious that Karen is not a confident, experienced hairdresser. And then Leanne is like, oh, I'm really sorry, I've got to go pick up my kids. And I said, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to cause a scene, but I'm thinking, don't give me half a haircut. That's not what I paid you for.
Especially when I called ahead of time and asked, can I get my hair cut today? And I was told, yes, we have availability at 2 p.m. If no one had the time to cut my hair, then you shouldn't have accepted my appointment.
But okay, she runs off. She leaves me with Karen, who I think is the work experience girl. Karen straightens my hair, puts down the hairdresser and goes, are you happy with that? No. So I looked at my hair, I made a show of turning from side to side again and went, it's not even. I wasn't quite so direct. I was like, I'm not sure, is it even? It wasn't, but I don't want to be direct. Sometimes people think that you're being really rude and confrontational when you're being direct. So I was like, you sure it's even? And the way that you test is you get 2 strands of hair, one from each side of your head, and then you very slowly and evenly pull both sides of hair down. And you're checking to see, does one hand let go sooner? And if that happens, it means that the hair is uneven. Okay, so I'm doing the test, and you can see that the right side is shorter. You can see that my right hand lets go sooner. And then looking front onwards, you can see that the right side is about 1 centimeter shorter than the left side. And so I'm like, I don't think it's even. And she's like, oh, maybe it's just the way it's sitting. Let me straighten it some more. And I'm thinking, no, I just did the test to show you that it's been cut unevenly, but all right, whatever. So she straightens my hair some more. And she's like, okay, what do you think now? And it's like, well, now it's even more obvious because my hair's dead straight now, so it's even more obvious that it's uneven. So she does the test as well and sees for herself that it's uneven. And she's like, oh, that's okay, we can fix that up. And I'm like, well, this isn't what I wanted. And so I turn my head from side to side. I'm like, it's uneven, but if you look at each side is even within itself. Like the 2 sides do not match up, but each side the hair is the same length, like a very sort of messy, jagged haircut, but roughly it's all the same length on this side and then all the same length on this side. And I said, I wanted a concave bob, so I wanted it to, gradually get shorter as it goes up towards the back. And she's like, oh, that's fixable, don't worry, that's fixable. So she calls over a 3rd hairdresser who we will call Tamara. And just FYI, Tamara is the daughter of the salon owner. So Tamara asks what's happened, and I said I wanted a concave bob, and this is looking more like a classical bob. And so I'm explaining, I'm doing the hand action, I'm explaining, a concave bob, it's longer at the front and then it gradually gets higher until you get to the back, which is the shortest part of all. And then Tamara goes, what you're asking for is an undercut. I'm going to have to get the razor. No, I'm not asking for an undercut. I'm asking for a concave bob. Froze when I heard that. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how things were going so wrong. I don't understand how I could walk in and ask for a concave bob and one hairdresser gives me, a very bad, very rough classic bob. Another hairdresser doesn't understand that my hair is uneven, and now the next hairdresser is trying to make me look like I'm something out of a 90s boy band. I don't understand what's happening. And so she's like, what is it, undercut? I'm going to have to get the razor. And so for a moment, I then sort of regrouped and was like, no, I don't want to look like I'm out of a 90s boy band. And I said, let's just leave it here for today because my hair's already quite short. If you try to cut it again and I'm still not happy with what you do, I don't have much hair to work with and I'm going to be stuck with a bad haircut for quite a few months. So I said, let's just leave it here for today. And then she's like, well, I think I get what you're asking for. I think I know what you mean. I think you're going for that disconnected look. And then she turns to Karen and she's like, that one client that I have that has that disconnected look? And Karen's like, oh yeah, I know who you mean. And they're like, look, why don't we look up some photos? Why don't we look up some photo references? Did you bring a photo reference to show Leanne? And I said, no, I didn't. And that is my fault. But in truth, I didn't think that it was that difficult to understand what a concave bob is. I have had a concave bob before where I just walked in and said, I would like a concave bob. And I walked out with a concave bob. So it perhaps is my fault for not, bringing in a reference, whatever. Anyway, so Tamara and I look through some photos. I show her a photo of what I want and I say, I want to look like this photo. And she's like, yeah, you're looking for that disconnected look at the back. Look, I don't know if that means something to you as a hairdresser. If you're a hairdresser and you're watching this and you understand what the disconnected look is, please let me know in the comment section. But I've not heard that term before used for a haircut. If I had known that the concave bob is called the disconnected look, then I would have walked in and said, hi Leanne, I would like the disconnected haircut. Had I known that's what a concave bob is referred to as. So I didn't know that. If that is a thing, please let me know in the comments. Okay, so Tamara cuts my hair. She then gets the mirror to show me the back of it, and I can see that the back now is shorter than the front. So I think, okay, fine, we got there in the end, cool, thanks, I paid, walked out of there. Then I got home and actually really looked at my hair. It's still uneven. So even though the back is a bit shorter than the front ideally should be the same length in a concave bob unless otherwise specified. Sure enough, the right side is still about 1 centimeter longer. So, how do 3 hairdressers not know how to cut in a straight line? Like, I know that here in Australia, the hairdressing industry is deregulated, but I didn't realize it was so deregulated that hairdressers can't even cut in a straight line. Now, I can probably play it off, like I can probably be like, oh, yeah, it's an asymmetrical hairstyle, it's totally meant to look like that, darling. But between you and I, no, that is not what I asked for. It's just a bad haircut. And then still, if I turn my head to the side when my hair is straightened, the left side has a nice gradient, so you can see that the part at the front of my face on the left side is the longest part, and then it gradually gets a bit longer going to the back. But the right side is a mess. Like, the right side is kind of even and then just kind of like juts down just very close to my chin. So I'm not comfortable looking like that. I mean, I can kind of hide it with like a hairband, or you know, with a half ponytail or something. Like I can work with it. It will grow out, but it's really not what I asked for, and I'm really disappointed that 3 hairdressers between them cannot give me a concave bob. Like, I really didn't think it was that hard. So, you know, it's just as well that this salon is rebranding and relocating, because I don't think I'll be following it. I'll look for some other hair salons in my area and see if they can cut in a straight line. So, the reason that I have a wig, I'm not planning on wearing a wig all day, every day. So, you know, when I'm at home or when I'm just doing my grocery shopping, I'll just deal with it. Like I said, I could be able to hide it with some different hairstyles. But some of you may know me as a correspondent for Gamers Classified. If you don't, I'll link to it somewhere in the video. And so I do on-camera interviews. I interview people within the video game industry. And so I don't want there to be all these videos of me with this really terrible haircut for the world to see. That's not how I want to present myself. That doesn't make me feel good. So for the next few months, if you watch any of our Gamers Classified videos, you will see that I will wear either this wig or a second wig that I bought, which is longer and it's auburn. So that one, I feel more comfortable in it. It's closer to my natural hair color. So that is the story of why I will be wearing a wig for the next few months. I'm still learning how to put a wig on. Yeah, I did a reasonably good job today. I'm still learning how to do it. So I got this wig and my second auburn one from Star Wigs in Sydney. They have an online shop, and they also do have a couple of physical shops in Sydney. So I will link to those in the description below if you like the look of my wig and perhaps would like to purchase one of your own. So that concludes today's video. Thank you for listening, and you know, just FYI, if anyone really cares that much about my hair, this is why I will be wearing a wig for the next few months.